All right, we're going to go straight into questions for Coach Defensive Coordinator Blake Baker. First up, we have Christopher Stock from InsideTheU.com. Chris, do you have a question for Coach?
Yeah, Blake, I was just curious maybe how this first week or a little over a week has gone. In particular, we saw the interception by Gervin Hall, just other big plays, or maybe what's standing out to you as this is what's going on with your group as a whole.
I think, the big thing obviously being very early in camp, a week into it and not really a live scrimmage. We're still very much a work in progress, but at the same time, I'm really, really encouraged with this unit. You talk about one thing or two things we've really been emphasizing is running to the football and hitting when we get there. And we'll clean up the mistakes, as they come, as camp continues to go on. But these guys, man, they love to compete, and they're a young unit. There's a lot of competition amongst the group. Every position is pretty much open for grabs, and you can see it. There's a hunger amongst this group, and they're really competing every day, to get on that bus here in about a month.
Great. Next up, we have Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, do you have a question for Coach?
Yes. Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Susan?
I'm good. So we just found out about the scrimmage tomorrow night. That said, what exactly are you looking for? What type of format is it going to be? Will it be different than usual for the obvious reasons?
There will be some differences, obviously, with social distance and spacing and having chairs on the sideline instead of benches to make sure that we follow, the guidelines to not trigger any contact tracing. But outside of that, in between the lines, it's going to be the same. We're going to put the ball down and we're going to play and we're going to have special teams. And I'm just really excited to finally, it's been a long time, and this is what these guys train so hard all off season to do. And for us to finally, get to roll the ball out there, even though it's just a scrimmage, I think it's important for a lot of different reasons, but I think it's really, really important for this defense and this offense and just the team in general to grow. So I couldn't be more excited about tomorrow.
As a one follow, as a defensive coach, what do you look for? Out of your guys in the first scrimmage, what are you really going to be concentrating on?
Their effort and their tackling. We have not been able to tackle live up to this point, and that's how every college program from across the country probably out conducts business. So this will be the first time, especially some of these young guys that we've never seen tackle college back. So I'm definitely excited to see how well we tackle in the first scrimmage, and then just their effort, just their ability to be relentless to the football. Like I said, we'll clean up some of the technical errors or their missed assignments. But as long as they do those two things, I think we got a chance to be pretty good this year.
Thanks.
Great. Next up, we have David Furones from the Sun Sentinel. David, do you have a question for Coach?
Sure. Hey, Blake, two questions. This first one, it kind of just got me thinking now since you guys are about to go into a scrimmage. You talked about, or Manny Diaz told us how you guys did the study about how much tracing there is in a practice, that guys aren't ever anywhere near 15 minutes near each other. Have you guys done a similar study in games where, guys are matched up against each other, whether it be a tackle and a defensive end up against each other all the time, or a wide receiver corner, things like that? And I'll let you answer that one before I get to the second.
We have not done a study, but my guess is it's probably very similar. When you look at total reps from a practice, it's usually the same guys are matched up against the same guy, just like in a game for the entire practice. And, a practice could vary from, maybe 60 to 80 reps when you count one-on-ones and so forth and so on. So I think it's probably very similar. But to answer your question, no, we have not done, to my knowledge, an in-game study.
Sure. Okay. And I just wanted to ask about the secondary. Do you have any ideas so far on how you might line up the corners, or Corey Couch or Christian Williams standing out? And also,
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and also the safeties. Just are there two that you might start, or is it going to be a rotation of those top three, or are any young guys stepping up?
That's all four positions. Like I said earlier, it's wide open. When you talk about the competition, I know there's a lot of experience in both of those rooms, but man, some of those young guys that haven't necessarily played as much. You mentioned a Christian Williams, to Corey Couch has had an outstanding camp. Even the young freshmen, Marcus Clark and Isaiah Dunson, are doing some really good things. And same thing at safety. We have an abundance of experience there and an abundance of youth there. So it's been kind of a good mixture, but they've been really, really impressive. And, as we know, this year is going to be tricky in itself, getting everybody, the same 22 guys to line up every week. Who knows how that's going to play out. So we need to build as much depth as possible, but I'm encouraged. I really am, by the athleticism, especially from the young guys, and how the older guys are really competing. And at the same time, they're doing a great job coaching them up and showing them the ropes, and really encouraged by the back end. But tomorrow's going to answer a lot of questions, like I talked about with especially defensive backs. We're going to be as good as they tackle. So very, very excited to watch them finally get after it and be able to bring some offensive players to the ground.
Awesome. Coach, we got time for a couple more. Next up, we have David Lake from InsideTheU.com. David, what's your question for Coach?
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask you just about Bubba Bolden. How's he moving around? Is he back to where he was pre-injury, just from an athleticism standpoint? And then, with him being a year in your system now, is he just generally more comfortable in that regard than he was last fall camp?
Yeah, well, he wasn't even here really last fall camp. So, but no, he's 100% healthy, and he is definitely more comfortable, and you can see him growing more confident every day. I've been very pleased with Bubba. He's a long rangey guy. He's making plays on the ball. He's physical, but you can definitely see that he is growing more and more comfortable day by day, rep by rep, and just more comfortable and confident around the guys. Him being here a full calendar year almost now, that natural progression has really taken place, and he's doing a lot of good things out there on that football field for us.
Awesome. Next up, we have Barry Jackson from the Miami Herald. Barry, do you have a question for Coach?
Yes. Hi, Blake. Just with regard to defensive tackle, who's standing out beyond obviously your top three coming in with Nesta Ford and Jordan Miller? Has anyone begun to emerge as a fourth? I know it's still early.
Yeah, it's still early. It's every day it feels like it's a different guy is having a great day. And once again, it's about competition. But Jared Harrison Hunt, Jalar Hawley, Jason Blissett, we've used him as a swing guy. He's playing inside and outside for us. Those three guys are doing some good things. Really, from top to bottom, I would say nobody at that position has locked down the starting role. And, those guys are pushing each other. Now, I think we have a lot of talent in that room, and I've said that before. But to say one guy is – I think they're all playing pretty well. To say one guy is just completely dominating and taking over, that wouldn't be fair. But none of them are playing bad either, But I'm very, very anxious to see tomorrow and then really, through the next couple of weeks, someone's going to emerge. There's no doubt about it. The cream usually rises to the crop about week 2 or week 3 in camp. So we will – that will be to be determined.
Thank you.
All right. Our last question for Coach Baker comes from Christopher Stock of InsideTheU.com. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Blake, I'm sorry. Just the linebackers with Wayman Steed and Bradley Jennings, how are they doing, and how do they look? Have they been able to do everything just in this first week?
Yeah, they have, and that's a credit to those two young men, our training staff. They have exceeded any expectation that I've had. They both look great, and I didn't know how they would respond. Obviously, coming off serious injuries and being out for over a year, really, both of them. But those two guys are playing their tails off. They're smart. They've been in this system for a long time, but they've really matured. Just from a mentality standpoint, they know how quickly the game can be taken away from them, and injuries usually tend to do that, to guys. And I'm so happy with those two guys, man. I think they're going to surprise some people this year. I think both of them are doing a heck of a job, and couldn't say enough good things about either one of those young men.
Awesome. Coach Baker, thanks for taking some time to talk with us today, and good luck in the scrimmage tomorrow.
All right, appreciate it. Thank y'all.